So today is another video with a voiceover again, and this time you see Amarok, my new horse. He's 4 years old. He doesn't know anything yet, and I go almost every morning before work. So this is about at 7 o'clock in the morning before. That's why I'm dressed so neatly. It's because I'm going to work afterwards. I'm going there to brush him, teach him how to lift his feet, walk with him a little on the lead line, just to get him to know everything there is for horses to know in the human world. He is castrated in December. He's in December 2020. He's in the Netherlands since January 21, and he hasn't had much training since. And when I first met him in February, he was so scared of me even looking into his stable that he ran all the way into the back corner. So we've gotten a long way already, but now he needs to learn to be brushed and actually be confident about being brushed and liking it, and also confident about me touching his legs. And that's a bit of a thing. The first time I tried to pick up his front hooves, he actually allowed me to do that, but the second time I did it, he bit me. So, and I know you can only do it like wrong 3 times to really make it hard on yourself, because then you have to figure out how to reset a bad habit. So I've been touching his legs, not really picking up his hooves so much, but touching his legs and brushing him until he relaxes. So you see that I kept on brushing and touching at that spot until he blinked and started chewing and lowered his head, and then I released him. So that's what I do. I brush him, I keep an eye on him, but what I don't notice when I'm actually brushing him here is that he was already pretty tight on the halter line. So you see where it goes wrong later on. But for now, I haven't noticed that yet. I'm a human too, I make mistakes, so you can really see my mistake here. I'm touching his leg, and keep on touching it until he shows a sign of relaxation, with his blinking and lowering his head. And here he lowers his head, but then he keeps his eye really open, wide, and doesn't blink. So I release his leg, and as soon as he blinks, so you saw him blink and I released, and I tell him that he's a good boy. I don't want him to turn his head towards me because he already bit me once. Here he steps aside, so I keep on holding his leg, and he doesn't really blink. He looks like he blinks a little, but he's not really blinking, and he's turning his head towards me, and I don't want him to bite again, so I don't want him to meddle in. And here he gets scared because he's hung up in the line, and he knocks over the camera and he breaks the halter line. Yeah, shit happens. Happily he ran into his stall where he feels safe for the night, so he ran into there, and then I grabbed another halter line and went to pick him up from the stall that was open. So here I am, and the broken halter line, that's the white line, I use now to him to feel on his leg, so I can see if I can pick up his leg with that line. So I'm touching his leg with the line until he shows me a sign of relaxation, and then I release him. But I don't release him yet because he's not relaxing yet. I have a little doggy here that wants to sit on my lap. You're making a lot of noise, Stella. I'm trying to say something on the video. I'm twirling the white line around so I can actually pick up his hoof with it without making all kinds of knots in the line. And you see that I'm juggling with 2 lines here, so I keep too much pressure. Yeah, you don't see it yet, but you will see it in a minute. I do not release him well enough on the halter line on his head, because I'm using too much pressure. You see, so I don't release him from stepping forward, and there I tried to release him, but the line is too short, so I am now holding 2 lines too tight. I realized that. I think, yeah, I have to do this different with 2 hands. It's not that easy. And pulling a horse forward is not an easy movement, because you can easily get hung up in the pulling game. But he happily gave in and gave his legs, so I'm releasing here. But he's like, yeah, I want to go off to that stable where I just ran into that was safe. I want to go there again. I don't want him to go there. So now I'm going to desensitize him a little with the line, so he's getting used to the line swirling around him without walking away. So I keep on going until he stops walking and he just accepts it coming over. Because he's very, how do you say, gibberish or ticklish about anything touching him on his body. Anything that comes from a human, I have to say, because in the herd he's pretty okay with the other horses and he's playing with the other geldings, and that's no issue at all. Although what you see is that he's constantly biting them in the legs. That's also the reason that he has trouble with me picking up his legs, because that's really stallion play to bite in the legs. Now he needs to learn that when I pick up his legs, I do that gentle and not try to hurt him or bite him. See, there you see how ticklish he is when you touch him. I try not to use small signs. I'm a bit, what do you say, rough with my body language, because I want him to get used to people moving around him. I don't want to do everything super sensitive. You see, I don't want him to turn his face towards me and try to bite me again. So he needs to keep his face straight while I hold his leg until there he blinks. Are not good enough because I don't release. I want him to really blink and relax, and there he blinked. Good enough for me, for him to relax, and you see that he's licking and chewing. I'll wait again, and there he goes. Alright, and I release. Now I go again. So he lowered his head and he blinked. That's good. Give him a release. And here I pick up his leg, or I hold his leg a little lower, waiting for his sign of relaxation. And I don't want him to turn his head towards me to bite me. So he can keep his head forward and relax from that position. And he is very expressive with his mouth, with his upper and lower lip. He's really, when he's thinking about things, you can really see it, them move around, but that's not particularly licking and chewing. He was just licking and chewing here, but when I hold his leg, you can see that his mouth is moving a little, but that's not licking and chewing. That's just him moving or thinking about what I'm doing. So I use his eye as his blinking eye as the first sign of relaxation, and here I yawn to give him a sign like it's okay, we're relaxed now. And then you see that he lowers his neck as well. And then we stand there for just a minute just to take everything in, just be together, not pressuring him in any way. I'm standing over there, looking towards him. He can look towards me. I look around, I keep the guard, keep an open eye to the surroundings, see everything going on, so he can really relax. And there he lowers his head. That's good. Sign of relaxation. He's also, what he's doing with his hind legs, just standing like he's falling asleep, for him is not a sign of relaxation, because he does that as well when you touch him, or when you get close to his hind legs, he will do that as well. So you really need to take the little signs. Here he's licking and chewing and lowering his head. That's relaxation. Blinking his eyes, relaxation. Because that actually softens his eyes. This is a pretty introvert horse. Signs that another horse would show way sooner. He needs to really think about things, and like how he holds his legs is not a sign of relaxation. But here he's a bit falling asleep and just standing there with me. And then at some point I think that it's been enough and that he can go back to the paddock and his friends. So, work in progress.
Kom maar jongen, je hebt het goed gedaan.